Friends, today I wanted to talk about one interesting category in the equity mutual fund space, which is the business cycle fund. What is business cycle fund? Actually, business cycle fund invest in sector rotation opportunities where winners and losers will keep varying in each cycle. So let me substantiate this with an example. Let me look at this year. For the calendar year 2024, energy sector has done really well. Infrastructure as a sector has done really well. But on the contrary, banks have not reached well in spite of good numbers. IT, because of slowdown, has come down. And FMCG, fast moving consumer goods, has not given the relevant growth this year. So, what happens is that in spite of having good fundamentals, some companies might take more time to show growth in that because of their high PE and different things. But what a business cycle fund does is that it gives the fund manager to identify from the macroeconomics perspective. He will look at the interest rates, the inflation, the GDP numbers, the export-import data, the currency fluctuation, as well as the stable government, all these things, and how those policy which will help the company to, which is undervalued now, to go to the peak. And once it becomes overvalued, he will sell it and keep identifying a sector which is undervalued at that point in time. And this keep repeating. What it does to the investor is that the investor don't have to time the market. They don't have to time the right sector. The fund manager does it on their behalf. At times, the business cycle can be longer, but the margin of safety is already been there. And as a tactical asset allocation perspective, this fund can create much value to an investor's perspective because the buying and selling will not affect the investor because it is done in the fund level, and investor, being an investor, his taxation will only come when he sell those or when he realizes his maturity proceeds. So this type of investment opportunities are very much available in the mutual phase in the business cycle fund, which is quite broad based, which will invest across the NSE 500 and BSE 500 companies across the spectrum, across large, mid, and small, across the sectors which are undervalued and which has the potential to grow. And this fund will keep repeating this talk on this objective on a continuous basis. So on a tactical allocation perspective, I strongly recommend an investor who is ready to wait for 5 years and above horizon to come into this fund so that he can have a wonderful investment experience. And what an investor needs to know is that this fund will have a higher volatility than a well-diversified equity fund because of the high churn ratio which might happen in this fund. And at times, some of the fund managers' call might not get materialized in the near term, so there could be a prolonged gestation period also. But this can definitely add value to the investors in their equity mutual fund basket of portfolio. Thank you. And to make you understand how different styles adopted by different business cycle fund can fit into your scheme of things, do get in touch.